I'd like to introduce our guest speaker, Shay Burt. Shay is the Senior Regional Indivisible Organizer for Colorado, Nevada, and California, and will give us some updates on what Indivisible is doing at the national level. Thanks for joining us tonight, Shay.
Hi, thank you for having me tonight. It's so great to be in this space. I think I was on one of your meetings earlier this year, and then the Indivisifest came, and then I went out on extended medical leave. So I've been out for 4 months, but I am back in here to help you all organize by connecting you all with national resources and tools and it's a lot of them that we have out there. So I want to be of service to help you all figure out, which one to use for which to make you all more successful in the actions that you all are doing locally. And so right now, what we are running off of is the realization of how many people really want change in this nation. And so, for the first time ever, we are in the process of developing a massive primary campaign in which we will do our own national endorsements in the primaries, as well as help groups navigate how to do their own endorsements in primaries and what that looks like and how you all can work around whichever candidate you decide that you want to back. So the biggest thing that's going on, I'm not sure if many of you all attend the Thursday calls with Leah and Ezra, is that we want to hear from you all. We want to know what you all are thinking around the primaries. Do you all feel like it would be worth Indivisible stepping in a federal primary? I want to put that out there, is that because we have a federal PAC, it would be a federal primary races that we can tap into, and I can talk to you all about how to do things locally. But for this link that I just dropped, we want to know from you all, like, which races in Colorado do you all think would benefit from a little bit more attention from National Indivisible in this coming race. And we are more in particularly looking at challenges in the Democratic Party as well. So, like, yes, there may be a primary that you all want us to focus on to challenge a Republican seat right now, and we will look at those as well. But don't forget that that some Democrats have not been standing the line with us and have not been thinking of the people that this administration is harming. And so we want to make sure we hear from you all so that we are guiding our steps as we are developing our 2026 plan with your voices at hand, the movement at hand, and doing what the movement would like to do. So that is what we are currently focusing on. I am focusing on trying to do a temperature check to see where all of my groups in my turf. As Tiffany said, I run Colorado, Nevada, and Southern California. So if you are another group that is attending this call with Solidarity Warriors, know that your group email that is registered on the Indivisible map will receive a survey from me next week, in which you all can let me know how your group has been doing and where you all are standing and what gaps you all may need help with filling. I do know that the state structure ICANN for Indivisible here in Colorado is looking to start an endorsement process. And so if you all do not have a representative that is attending the ICANN calls, please do that. That's another place where you can find me. And yeah, we want groups to focus on, how are we going to move and activate during the primaries? What do you all need? If there is a lack of training that you all feel, if you all want to say you don't want to canvas or phone bank with the party, you want to come up with your own, come talk to me. I can help you all figure out a campaign around that. And we have access to Van that we can give you all for free, where we help you all create lists for canvassing and phone banking campaigns that you all want to do. So that's kind of where national is focusing right now is where is this movement at, and when it comes to the primaries coming up in 2026, and what do you all want us to see us do? So if you have any questions for me, I can take them now.
Is Indivisible going to be doing any text banking?
Text banking, yes, that is text banking, phone banking, and helping groups set up local canvases, and probably bringing back the neighbor to neighbor canvassing program as well.
Okay.
And then we do have, I forgot one thing. Um, we do have a primary program call that is launching on December 4th, and you can register for that here. Steve? Oh, no. Okay. Sorry, I thought you had a question. Anybody else?
We do have one that says, have you heard about David Hoag's new political party? And is Indivisible going to be involved?
Um, I have not heard anything. We have not discussed that in any of our internal meetings. So I don't have an answer on that. But I wouldn't mind going back and getting that for you all.
Okay.
Uh, Katie asked, will Indivisible hold Dems accountable right now? Colorado Public Radio reported parents protesting about Polis taking away funding for autism treatment in the state budget. Or I guess
Um,
the better question is, what is Indivisible doing to hold like Dems that are in office accountable now?
so right now, what I have seen indivisible groups across Colorado do to hold their Democrats accountable is they are showing up to their offices when there are things that they are doing that they don't like. They are also calling in and emailing, and some of our indivisible groups have indivisible groups have personal relationships with their rep, and so they can easily get meetings and have those discussions with them as well. So it nationally, we have had pushback on Polis for his alignment with the Trump administration and what they have been doing, particularly his alignment with RFK. But because of um, finance laws and how we can interact, we leave it up to our local groups to decide how they want to push back. But yes, we are asking groups to push back on Dems, hold them accountable the same way that you would hold your member of Congress accountable when they are voting and supporting bills that you all don't want them to support.
Okay.
Um,
I've got some more questions if you're ready.
Hold on, I see a lot flowing through the chat, so I was trying to figure out where I was at.
I'm keeping track of them. So
Oh, oh, are
so
you reading them to me?
I will, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Let's.
that's part of what I do to make your life and our life easier. The next question I have is Indivisible has always been nonpartisan, but now we're talking about endorsing candidates and specifically in primaries. Is this a change of policy?
Yes, we understand that right now under this, we are still nonpartisan. And being nonpartisan means that um, we can hold both sides accountable, right? We can go after, we can say when both sides are doing something that we don't like. But when we say, I don't think that it's necessarily that we are saying that we're going partisan because we are endorsing in primaries. We just know that right now that is the time that we have to move. We can't let primaries come and go without us moving and saying, no, we have to let this incumbent out because they are showing us that they don't have a spine to stand up against this administration, because the overall reaching goal is to stop the authoritarian grab that this administration is trying to do. And so, yes, we are nonpartisan. And yes, we are urging groups to participate in the primary in a way that we have never participated before.
Okay. The next question is specifically, will Indivisible is Indivisible supporting the economic blackout November 25th to December 2nd? And I'll be a little specific about it since there are several of them. We know that Indivisible has signed on to We Ain't Buying It. Is Indivisible going to support the mass blackout that we talked about earlier?
Um, the the campaign that we are supporting right now is the one that you just I was looking for the link. It is, sorry, I have windows open everywhere. um, there it is. Sorry. Um, yeah, so we ain't buying it. That is probably as far as we are going to go when it comes to the economic blackout because we have never done or participated in something like this before. And so this is the first time. And so, like, this is like us putting our foot in the water to see if this is something that the base is wanting us to participate in and how we can move that further in the future.
Okay.
Do you want to talk a little bit about the We Ain't Buying It campaign? I know it's targeting like specific retailers, right?
Yes, I am trying to pull up the website now. Um, shoot, my computer never wants to work the way it should when I need it to. Okay, so our targets are like the big companies, and mostly like pushing people towards purchasing for local businesses, mom and pop shops. And so our ask are Target, Home Depot, Amazon. Must stop undermining our democracy by collaborating with this administration. And so we are asking that during all next week, or yeah, all next week and into Cyber Monday, that you all not shop during these days with those companies to show them our buying power. And so we do have toolkits on how groups can organize around that, how you can spread information within your um, within your social medias and around with your friends and graphics that you can use. Again, we are an organization that is supplying resources for you all to activate the way that you all want to activate. And this is one of the campaigns that we are pushing forward to help with hearing back from so many group leaders that they would like us to participate in some type of economic strike. And this is our attempt to see how we can manage that.
Nice. I'm glad that Indivisible is participating in one at the national level. Morgan,
Um,
do you have the next question?
yes, I do. Which races are we talking about individually being involved in Colorado? U.S. Senator, anything else?
And that would be up to you all to tell us. And that's what that survey that I dropped in the chat is about. We here at Indivisible believe that we are a bottom up movement and that our job is to follow what the movement is asking us to do. And so please fill out that survey so that our political team can analyze what you all are hearing on the ground and where you all feel like would be the most effective races for us to touch in the primaries in Colorado.
Okay. This this is the last question I have, and it's
I do see Ginger. She put up the governor. We cannot do the governor because that is a state race, and we are a federal PAC. And because of FEC guidelines, we can't, at a national level, we can't go after Governor Polis. But at a local Indivisible through ICANN and the local Indivisible groups, you all can push for them to have an endorsement process in which they say which primary races we move in.
Yep, I think we're definitely going to be supporting a candidate for governor. I think Polis is done no matter what.
Right.
But the problem is that Bennett is running, and Bennett has been a pretty corporate shill and hasn't done a lot to support the people that he's supposed to represent. So right now, Attorney General Phil Weiser is the best candidate for that seat, who's got the best chance to win in the primary, and he's been standing up to Trump. Last time I checked, which was several months ago, he had filed 24 different lawsuits against the Trump administration.
Do we want to talk about the Senate race here that National can be involved with?
She said that depends on how people fill out the survey. So if we
Okay,
all
I
fair enough.
I
say,
will say internally, I am also like, hey, y'all looking at Hickenlooper's race? I want to let you all know that ICANN has had a steady monthly meeting with Hickenlooper's office all the way up until this year, and they usually find a way to weasel out of coming to meet with group leaders in ICANN now. So it's very interesting. So like those are little things that I have been saying. In internally. Um, but again, whether how we endorse in Hickenlooper's race will determine on what the broader base is saying in Colorado. And so I do. I was on a conversation with Robin, who leads ICANN, and they are coming up with a formal endorsement process. And we will work with group leaders across the state on how to best cast that vote to see what indivisibles in Colorado, who in indivisible Coloradans want to endorse in that race. But again, your all's voice is what drives how we interact in that primary.
A couple of people have asked, what is ICANN?
ICANN is Indivisible Colorado Action Network. That is the state structure here in Colorado for indivisible groups. They're the ones that hold the monthly speaker series every month on hot topics that are going on around Colorado. This month, I believe they held it on ICE and immigration deportations. And that is like how I use to disseminate information from nationals into the state. It's through the kind of like through that little phone tree. And I hope does that answer the question?
Yeah, to paraphrase, ICANN is the state level of Indivisible.
Yes.
Okay. One more question. Solidarity Warriors is not typical of a lot of indivisible groups, and things like elections and primaries and things haven't been central to what we've been doing. So what would you tell to the people who are saying, the whole reason Indivisible is upset with the establishment Democrats is they're acting like this isn't a crisis and this isn't a fascist dictatorship. Why should we put money into and time and energy into getting people elected when we could be going out and planning the next No Kings and doing more direct action?
So I think this is the next step from protest and rallies, right? You can get out in the street all day long and yell at how much you are upset at what's going on and voice what your people power is. But if you're not moving your people power to the next step, which is moving them towards getting the people that are destroying our democracy out of office and replacing them with people that are going to honor it and move it in a way that upholds the people, that thinks about the people, that thinks about the environment, that wants to push us progressively forward into the future, then where are we moving that people power? Is it just in front of steps to hear speeches? Or are we going to take that people power and that energy and we're going to apply it to things such as the blackout next week, such as moving to make sure that we have elected officials that will stand up against this authoritarian grab of our government right now. And so that is why I think it is always important, no matter whether you want to stand behind a party or not, to be involved in local elections. Like that is the next step in being in civically advocating for what you believe is right for this country and for your local community.
Okay. Somebody asked, there are two major parties. Are we supporting a third party?
Again, we're nonpartisan, so we're not supporting parties. So, like, if there is somebody that you feel like you think that National should endorse that is not a Democrat or a Republican or an independent or which the Working Families Party, who do you, where is the movement saying this is the person that is going to champion for us to have better lives, not struggle paycheck to paycheck? Who do you feel like is your champion? And that's who you get behind.
Okay. That's all the questions I
Yay.
have.
Yes, Robert, we do need ranked choice voting. Oh, we got, how can we tell if a non-party member is good enough for the people?
I think you invite them to events where you get to have an opportunity to ask them the tough questions that will reveal their true intentions on being for the people or not. And most of the time, you can tell when you invite people to that, they will shy away from trying to answer those types of questions. And that, kind of reveals um, what their true intentions are and how they're going to move. You can tell the difference when somebody's being genuine in what they want to do and somebody's playing party lines or playing for the pockets of something other than the people, right? And so the more interactions you have, meet and greets, candidate walkthroughs where people can actually have interactions with the candidate, to get the candidate to answer those questions that we have. What are you going to champion? How are you going to make sure that we can afford the groceries? How are you going to make sure that we can afford rent? I'm sorry, I didn't know my child was behind me.
That's okay.
Can you go in your room, please, and thank you? Uh, uh, sorry. Go around this way. Thank you. Uh, sorry, he's doing homework. um, and so you have to ask those questions, and to ask those questions, you have to get in front of those candidates that are championing for your vote, because at the end of the day, your vote is your power.
We had Karen Breslin here a few weeks ago. She's running in the primary against Hickenlooper. She's the one that our Revolution Metro Denver has endorsed. I'm not sure what other endorsements she's gotten so far, but it was really great for everyone to be able to ask questions of her to really see, what type of person she is and what type of, leader she would be. So we're not going to flood the meetings with platforming a bunch of politicians, but we'll definitely invite one here and there so that y'all can ask them some hard questions.
Yeah. And most candidates that are running for offices like that are looking for things to get invited to that are going to put them in front of people so that they can talk to them. So if you have an idea and you want to throw an event yourself where people can come and talk to the candidate, reach out to that candidate's campaign and offer that space for them to come out and meet the people and talk to the people. Little background about me, I've been doing political campaign work for 20 years now. Started in high school and worked my way up. And that is like the number one thing that I relied on as a field organizer, is people coming and saying, hey, I can get 20, 30, 40 people in this room. I can get 100, 150, 200 people in this room. Can you get the candidate here so we can talk with them? And that is true organizing. That is how you get change. Anything else from me?
I have a
Yeah.
question.
Yes.
My question is, what is Indivisible's like main mission? Like, what is, why do you support the groups that you support in Colorado more specifically? And how does that make an impact on us as a day-to-day citizen?
So our main mission as a national organization is to provide resources and tools for local groups to activate around policies, candidates, and elected officials in the way that they need for a better community. Um, and so the reason we put our support behind the groups that we put our support behind is because they decided that they wanted to align with our values, and sign up to be an indivisible group on the website. That's literally all it takes. Is if you are a group of people that align with our values that Leah and Ezra and our team has been pushing out and working on. If you are for dismantling the pillars that hold up this regime, that is making it easy for Trump to take this power grab away from the democracy, then we want you to sign up as an indivisible group and utilize these resources to fight back. We are not picking and choosing. I have not at all at any point walked up and grabbed 2, 3 people and say, hey, you're going to be an indivisible group and I'm going to get you started. It has been people saying, we want to be an indivisible group. We're signing up. How can you help us make sure that we're strong and we can move the way that we need to within our community to fight back? Does that answer your question?
It does. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Any more questions for me?
I was just going to say the reason, um, some of you know this story, but Solidarity Warriors was started as part of the We Are Worth Fighting For movement, which Indivisible was one of the groups that came together in a coalition right after the election with the goal of getting a whole bunch of groups like ours started. And then when that coalition split up in January, they asked us to hopefully join up with one of the groups. The other ones were Public Citizen, Working Families Party, and Move On. So we looked at each group. At that time, Solidarity Warriors was just 30 concerned citizens, not the hundreds of pissed off activists that we are today. But we had some in-depth discussions about the pros and cons of each group. And eventually what tipped the scales was the resources that Indivisible provides. There's a wealth of them on their website. And Shay, do you want to drop the link to where they can start a group?
Yes. And I can hit some high level resources that we use to help groups out. So, one, we have a distributed fundraising account, which gives you access to an ActBlue account and an ability to raise money as a group. And spend that on the actions that you plan, whether that be renting a room to renting a room to host meetings in person, or and or paying for food and drinks for those meetings, or buying materials for actions such as posters or printing banners, paying for billboards. Um, that is a way to help you all, a free resource to help you all raise money as a local group that you all have autonomy over, as long as it's not PAC related. We also have grow grants available where groups can apply for up to $1,000 a month to purchase things to help their groups grow. So whether that's purchasing a domain for a website, an email, or paying for a year subscription to a Zoom account. However you feel like if there's something that you need to help your group grow, and there is a financial barrier to it, that Grow Grant is there to assist with that financial barrier. We also give groups up to $1,500 a year for social activities through reimbursements, meaning you pay for the activity first, then submit your receipt to us, and we will send that money to the account that you choose us to send to reimburse for the approved activity. And what that means is that you meet with me, say, hey, Shay, we want to throw an end of the year celebration for all of the hard work that our group members have done throughout the year. We need help paying for the location and the food and a DJ. And we paid for it, and you submit, and I say, yes, that's C3 funding. You can do that and submit your receipts using the form, and you can get that money reimbursed back to you. We also give groups access to VAN, which is the Voter Action Network, which is a database that has the state's voter roll in it to help groups build lists to target in canvassing and phone banking efforts that they may come up with, that it has, of course, has to be separate from the party. And we have a tool like Every Action, which is a CRM to help navigate your network as you build your group and build your network out. And you can target, say, if you have 15 or 20 people sign up through a mobilized link to go to an event, you can use Every Action to target just those 20 people, to email them. And it feeds all that information in on the back end, making it a little bit more easily accessible without having to do a whole bunch of downloading and uploading. So we have tons of tools and resources available. We give out toolkits. If you participate in certain campaigns with us, there are sometimes reimbursements that we give for you all to act and move around that. So tons of resources that we have available if you do decide to join and sign up. And I'll be your awesome organizer that lives right here in Colorado with you all, and that can help you and come out and support as well.
Thanks, Shay.
No.
I don't see any other questions. Does anyone want to come off mute and ask any other questions?
I have
What?
are we not going to do more demonstrations? I mean, I really support the blackout, but I think the demonstrations are pretty powerful.
We are going to do more demonstrations.
Okay,
I can say
thank you.
that clearly and definitively. That's not going to stop, and we're not going to stop doing it. You know, what the next one is, which groups are going to be involved, I can't say yet, because we don't know. But doing some of this election work as we get closer to the midterms is not going to stop us continuing from doing the things that we've been doing that have been working.
And I see Allison put a question in here, and I'll take that on if you want, Tiffany. So it's not necessarily that the coalition broke up. The coalition formed specifically to help when the elections happened last November. Immediately, the organizations within this coalition were receiving so much feedback from people on the ground about the results of the election. And so the coalition formed in order to do something to hold space for people, to show people that you can hold space, you can grieve, but you can also grieve and then plan to fight back, to do something. And that was the purpose of the coalition, that particular Worth Fighting For coalition. We still work with a lot of those partner organizations that were a part of those coalitions. And they were also partners in the No Hands Coalition, the No Keens coalitions. These partners are our national partners. We just formed different coalitions at different times to serve the needs of the people at heightened moments. I hope that answers your question, Allison.
Thank you.
Thanks. All right. Well, it's 7 o'clock. I have got to hop off and feed these kids, or they're gonna both stand here and look at me for the rest of the night.
That's okay.
And so I really appreciate you all having me. I've enjoyed having the space. Can't wait to come back. I am going to drop my email if you want to get a hold of me and you have any more questions for me. And I believe I am in the Solidarity Warriors Slack channel, so you can tag me and DM me there as well. 4 months being away is a lot. So
It's okay.
please
Yeah, I think
give
you
me a
are
little
in there.
grace to figure out where I was at.
Yeah, I think you're in there. Well, thank you so much for coming tonight, and I'm definitely looking forward to hearing from you on a regular basis.
All right. Thank you. Y'all have a great day. Bye.